Hey everyone, I'm Mike from theparkprodigy.com, and on today's video we're going to break down and give a quick tutorial on the brand new Disney World Multipass system. So this is the system that is replacing the Genie Plus, and it is now live. So if you are in the process of planning a Disney World trip or you're going to be in Disney World soon, just be sure to stick around till the end of this video as we will show you everything you need to know about the new Multipass system. As always, I'm very excited, so let's go get started. Okay, so as you'll see, I am going to give you a tutorial on the Multipass system actually using the My Disney Experience app. So this is the app which is on my mobile device. I am going to run through and show you essentially how I created some Multipass reservations over in Walt Disney World. So as you can see, there are going to be two different ways that you can purchase and use the Multipass system. There's going to be the Multipass, and then there's going to be the Single Pass, essentially. So it's called the Lightning Lane Multipass and then Lightning Lane Single Pass. As you'll see, you're still going to be able to access them the same way in the My Disney Experience app. You'll be able to come here, and what I like about the new system is you'll actually have a window that you can see what the pricing looks like for the Lightning Lane Multipass. And as you'll see, it's very similar to the old school way, which you'll essentially pick your park. Here we picked Magic Kingdom Park. We can see the pricing for the Multipass, Lightning Lane Multipasses, and then the Lightning Lane Single Passes. Once you click on, let's say, Multipass, what I do really like about it is that you can actually see what rides are available before you actually go and purchase the Multipass for the day, which I think is going to be a game changer. Once you click essentially the park you're going to visit, you'll see you'll be able to click who's coming within your party, and then you'll click continue, and then at that point you get to see the ride. So as you could see right off the bat, Peter Pan's Flight and Tiana's Bayou Adventure currently were not available for the day that I was going, trying to go. This is different from the past where you would purchase the Disney Genie Plus first, and then essentially you would make, one reservation at a time. Here you're able to select up to 3 attractions at a time. They are tiers, so there's specific rides within tier 1. You can make 1 tier 1 selection and then 2 tier 2 selections. So as you can see here for my tier 1s, I did select Big Thunder Mountain, and then over to my tier 2s, I selected the Haunted Mansion and then Winnie the Pooh. But again, that's essentially how the new Multipass system works. You can essentially do 1 tier 1 and 2 tier 2s, and then you can also do 2 single Multipass reservations at once. So here you could see they're pretty much giving me the windows for me to go and skip the lines on those rides. Now this is very similar to the old Fast Pass system, and what I'm doing here is I'm modifying. I'm saying, okay, well, I don't want to show up to the park at 9:35 in the morning. I want to come a little bit later in the morning. I love this. I do think this is going to allow families to really plan their days so much better. I'm not saying that I love the fact that we have to pay, to essentially skip the line, essentially pay for a service that we used to get for free. I don't love that. What I would say, though, is compared to what we just had with the Genie, I do love the fact that we can now at least say, okay, well, hey, this is when I'm going to select, or you'll have my 3 return times for these rides. The other important thing to keep in mind too is you can see up top, it says selections are saved for 5 minutes. So you do have 5 minutes to pretty much pick the times that you want for these rides, or they will be released again. And again, another thing to keep in mind is the rides can sell out, like I said earlier. So you do have to be mindful of that little 5-minute window up top. But as you can see here, I pretty much was able to set up the 3 rides that I want to use. And down on the bottom, it's showing me how much it will be for the day. You can also select the individual Multipass as well. I'm sorry, the Lightning Lane Single Pass. You can also select that as well. So you could pretty much modify and have 4 or 5 different rides here if you do select the 2 Lightning Lane Single Passes, to pretty much say, okay, here are all the times that I'm going to go skip the lines. And the other important thing to keep in mind too is specifically for the Lightning Lane Multipass, once you scan into that first ride, you can actually go and then make your next selection for the day. So it is very similar to the old Fast Pass system as well. So as you could see here, we are now going to check out because I am actually going into the park to try and test out the Lightning Lane Multipass. And I will have more videos coming in the future on this, but this is pretty much essentially what that process looks like to go and to kind of make those ride selections for the new skip the line service here in Walt Disney World. So I hopped back into the calendar, and again, you'll see there's a bunch of information online there's different tiers. So guests who are staying at a Disney World hotel will essentially have a 7-day window where they can go and make those, the Lightning Lane selections. Guests with multi-day dated tickets, it will be 3 days from your first day in the park. And then for, annual pass holders, stuff like that, it's actually the same day plus 3 days. So there's definitely an advantage to staying at a Walt Disney World hotel, just like with the Disney Genie was kind of the same thing. There's a couple things that I do really love here, right? From a budgeting standpoint, it's not the best, but at least giving us what it looks like now, a little bit of a window where you can go and at least see what the pricing looks like for the different tiers, for the Lightning Lane Multipass and then for the Lightning Lane Single Passes. You can at least get an idea, okay, this is how much I'm going to spend to skip the lines in Walt Disney World. Now, I will say it is kind of confusing because you could see the pricing, let's say, for 2 weeks out. But if you're not staying, right, if your window isn't open, you can't actually go and make those ride selections just yet. But again, I do think this is important, and I'm going to double down on another, huge benefit of having it set up this way is you can see the rides that are available. I do think that is a huge game changer and really allows you to make that decision. Do I want to spend this money? Do I not want to spend this money? As opposed to the old Disney Genie system where you were just spending it and then you're kind of trying to figure it out on the fly. As you can see here, I'm planning a day at Hollywood Studios. I was able to select, like I said, I selected the Lightning Lane Multipass, and then I also selected the Lightning Lane Individual. So here, what I thought was surprising was a couple days out, I was able to grab Slinky Dog, which is one of the most popular rides. I don't know if it will stay like that, but you could see I picked 1 Tier 1, 2 Tier 2s, and then I'll also have Star Wars Rise of the Resistance in there. So here I have 4 ride selections that I'm pretty much able to plan my reservation to go and skip that line. And as you can see here, I have pretty much my entire day planned. Now, again, just like this looks, this is going to change the game for a couple different reasons. From a rope dropping standpoint, you don't have to rush to get into the park anymore. Even if you're using the Disney Genie, or when you were using the Disney Genie, you would still have to rush to get over to that park, right? This allows you to avoid having to do that, which of course, if you're spending extra money, like I don't even understand how this wasn't the scenario from the get-go, but at least now if you are spending the extra money, you can plan to come to the park later in the day and know like, hey, okay, I'm going to be able to skip 4 of the most popular rides in Disney's Hollywood Studios, even if I want to show up at the park at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, which I love. I really do. I don't love the fact that we have to pay for it, but just from a planning standpoint, again, I think that this will be a game changer for families planning a trip to Walt Disney World. I do think that this will make our lives a lot easier as we plan those trips to Disney, at least being able to do this in advance and plan around, dining reservations, shows and stuff like that. I do just feel like this will absolutely change the game. And that is it. That's the quick little guide on essentially how you can make your Lightning Lane multi-passes and Lightning Lane individual passes on the new My Disney Experience app. I will have a bunch more videos coming out on this brand new system in Walt Disney World. So if you have not already done so, just be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you get the latest videos as they come out. I think that's all the time we have for today. Thank you guys again so much for checking out this video. And until next time, I will talk to you soon.